Sloan Green, date of birth April 27, 1944, and I was born in Philadelphia. So we didn't have any organized sports. However, we had a lot of open space. So we played kickball, hide and go seek, blocks, low organized games, and it was organized by the kids in the street. If you were good in sports, the boys put you on their team. And if you were good, and the girls, if you could jump rope, so I would be in both teams. Girls teams jumping rope, and the boys, playing kickball, hide and go seek, races, So it was a fun type thing. My phys ed teacher recognized that I had some ability and asked me to come out for the field hockey team. I had never even heard of field hockey, but, back in the day, if a teacher told you to do something, you just did it. So I did, and that probably just, changed my life because I found, I enjoyed participating in the sport. The coaches became my mentors and my confidence, and, I was behind in my academics, so, they helped me, directed me to, how to get support. And then I went out for basketball, and, we didn't have a tennis court at that particular point, but we played tennis against the wall. I went out for, badminton. So I got a field hockey and not lacrosse though. They didn't have lacrosse at that particular time at Girls High. At Girls High, I thought I was smart, but when I got to Girls High, I found out what smart was. So, I wasn't the best in math. I wasn't the best in English, and the caliber and the brilliance of the girls you could appreciate. However, my expertise where I excel was sports. So, and I loved, watching my coaches coach. I loved being involved in that atmosphere. So I decided, that would be my, my occupation. And then my parents didn't go to college, so my teachers, my phys ed teachers and coaches told me that I was going to suggested I go to Westchester. Westchester was a commuter school, so I met a lot of the African Americans were commuters. Now my second year, my sophomore year, I got a chance to live on campus, and that was a little different. People, the students were complaining because of, we couldn't go to certain dorms, we couldn't go to certain facilities and stores downtown. So there was a lot of segregation going on. The NAACP was protesting all the discrimination that was going on at Westchester, downtown Westchester. So for the first time, I was really beginning to feel it. And some of my friends white friends who were at where I grew up with, their experience was a little different than mine, because of the color of their skin. So I was kind of scared, to really have my first teaching experience in the city, because I was kind of nervous because I hadn't had no experience. Mm-hmm. So actually my first teaching job was in Chadds Ford, and I integrated, Chadds Ford. They didn't have any teachers of color or coaches of color. And it was kind of like a job that was designed, for me, because I would assist in field hockey. I would start a lacrosse team, and then I would start an adaptive physical education program because one young lady had hemophilia, and they wanted her to be able to participate. So I spent 2 years at Chadds Ford. I left Chadds Ford, and that was the time when Martin Luther King got killed, and I was up in arms, and I said, I can't, I've got to do more. I'm not doing enough, and so I came back to Philly to just teach at William Penn, and fortunately I had a lot of support because Jane Weissenoff was trying to provide the same opportunities that we had at Girls High, to the young people and young girls who were at William Penn, who were predominantly black. And, he had a fabulous principal, Dr. Harris. And so it was a great experience. I got a chance to coach and teach with some really very experienced, Lurleen Jones, and when I think of all the teachers that I've taught with, I learned a lot from them. So when you have 80 kids in a class, and you have 2 teachers learning how to manage class management, and my style is very very much different from their style, but I was able to realize that if you feel comfortable with yourself, kids accept you. And I would just say, hey, Miss Sloan wants to talk. My voice is very, soft, but then, the basketball players would, I picked out the ones who I thought were going to be the leaders, and got, told them I need their help now. Miss Sloan needs to talk. You got to get everybody quiet. So they would, they supported me and helped me. I credit the students at Temple for my being hired at Temple, because there was a lot of activism in the early early 70s, and most of the African American faculty were hired because the students were saying that we want African American faculty, and that's why Marvin Walkman was hired, because he had done such a great job at Lincoln, trying to bring the forces together at Lincoln. He was a Jewish. And he also had an interest in sports. He was a great interest in tennis. So when the job description crossed my desk, and I was really naive, it said, equal opportunity employer, and it had, they wanted somebody to coach, to teach phys ed classes, to start a coaching course, and to coach field hockey, lacrosse, and badminton. And I thought, oh my, they want me. I didn't realize at the time the equal opportunity employee was something that just was on everybody's job description. But I was expected to do a lot, all those jobs. That was faculty and coach, and $11,000. I thought that was a great opportunity to do all those things. And looking back, it really was, because I got a chance to see both sides of it: the academic side, the faculty side, and the sports side, and be able to coach a lot of sports. As the years passed, my load was reduced. I mean, in fact, when I first got the job, Temple was AIW, Association of Intercollegiate Athletics for Women. Mm-hmm. And then about a couple of years after that, that's when Title IX became enacted, and that sort of changed the whole landscape of sport. Title IX, because the scholarships were being offered, and you had to offer scholarships if you wanted to be a Division I school. President Leah Corus became the president. We weren't expected to do much. We were just told just win the local games. You don't have to. The basketball. It was very clear that basketball and volleyball were going to be the premier sports. Mm-hmm. However, competitive as I was, they didn't, I couldn't see myself, I saw myself getting a championship team.